could start. I'm not kind of the professionalism getting to my little bit here, Keegan. It's a lot.
You'll be fine.
But welcome, Corey Shepherd Podcast. We're back again, back with new digs at the Affordable Import Studio. Salute to Conrad and his squad. We have a returning guest, friend of the show. So Keegan Taylor, how you going, sir?
I'm good.
Good?
I just had to swallow my white oak.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah, better done.
Happy New Year. It was almost a year ago we were right here, you know. We were right. Well, not like this. We a little fancier now, but almost a year ago.
I see we step up the levels.
We had to step it up. You encouraged me to step it up, you know.
Come on.
Plenty things that happened in that last episode that people said they would do. Because if you remember, that last episode, you tell me, boy, you have some ideas and you're looking to go back to record and all them things. And so said, so done, right? So congrats on that. Congrats on the song.
Yeah.
New beginnings.
Yeah, man.
New youth. Congrats on that too.
Thank you.
Big things for 2025, right? So I want to dive back into some, because last time we talked a lot about stick fighting and them things. And as I get feedback from the episode, people say, but you didn't tell me much about the person. We just keep getting surprises as the episode go along.
Right.
So what I introduce here is songwriter, singer. Who's that? That's me? I'm pretty sure that's me.
There's a phone also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, leave it in. No, I did nothing.
You know who's that?
Good night. Oh, she hung up one time. She calling back. She calling you back?
You vexed
Listen,
now?
she disrupting from abroad. She disrupting when she in person.
Well, you're supposed to answer that.
Well, you call at the right time. You know about to start a bad talk, you know.
You see this here? Vexation is not going to happen.
No. As Machel on the line, Keegan, I want to ask you a question, right? I know how much you remember from last year, but do you remember somebody saying that they're not playing mass in Trinidad and Tobago ever again after last year?
Well, we have a friend. I don't want to just talk about her like if she's not there, because she's on the technology, so she's here. Okay. But I do have a similar friend. I know. I actually think I know the same person.
Right.
And I did a, unbeknownst to you, I could tell him. Right. So I did a 5,000 name petition.
Right.
For Machel to jump back in the game. And by the laws of man, she was bound to you know what I mean, to reach out 555 in the morning, you know what I mean? So we have her back again. And then I did remember saying that I would do my part.
Yeah, you did say that.
The sprinkle into the carnival to ensure that she comes back, and I think
she back in.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the vibe. So we're gonna jump in there, but I say we can't touch the stage without mentioning.
All right.
All right, then take care. Bye.
So that 5,000 name petition, I feel like it had about 5 names, and then she decided she jumping back in.
Yeah, boy. She didn't need much convincing at all.
No. But I was saying before she called, producer, songwriter, I've found out recently videographer, stick fight man. What again I'm missing from your Renaissance man description?
Renaissance man, wow. You know, the strangest thing about this life is you reach a certain stage in your life and you're driving in a part of Trinidad and it's be like, why doing here? Why this familiar to me?
Right.
You know, and it's be like, what? I've been here before, but what I was doing here? And it's roads, and you end up in Tabaquito, you end up in so many Baka, San Vivian. I mean, this is to the people who live in there, is just out the road.
Of course.
You know, being a man from South, you know, I've been in so many different parts of Trinidad, from Mayaro to Maruga to Cedros to, you know, Toko to Chagaramas, under the water, you know what I mean, in caves, up the islands, down the islands. And it's because of the various things I've had the opportunity to do. I mean, film itself took me a lot of places.
Yeah.
Music, you know, being a long time going to studios all over the country. Music is taking every little bedroom studio, or, you know, pause. And other places.
Bedroom studio, bedroom. I know.
Yeah. Bedroom, studio in the bedroom. Still pause. Yeah. But, you know, you end up in different places. A lot of big producers now started off in a little small thing in the corner of the place.
Right.
There's that stick fight, you know, which is essentially martial arts itself. Started studying martial arts from an early age. very many different teachers in different styles.
Right.
And, you know, going to different training tournaments, meeting different people. And so the different things I've done took me across, not just Trinidad, but the world itself. But
Right.
I just use the road analogy.
Of course.
Or
Of course.
street names in Trinidad that you might end up in. And like, what I was doing here? Oh. And, you know, even though the truth is, you know, the talk on the road is any man who know too much road, you know.
I know.
You know? Yeah.
But I remember you talking about seeing a stick fighting going on somewhere down by the port or something, so you tell, oh.
So down on the wharf,
right.
I see some stick going on down there, and I just, this is San Fernando Wharf, actually.
Right.
We saw a lot of stick fighting going on there. You know, it was a very popular place to have a guy. And as a young man, you know it happening, but I never really went. And then one day I was heading to a gig and to sing, because, you know, I was in a band too. I think I was with Traffic at the time. I was a show in Winchester and them.
Right.
And I think I was supposed to go see the gig that night. Heading uptown, and I passed, coming from where I'm coming from, I passed on the wharf. And I pull over the car, and I see stick going on, but it had drummers and things now. And that the live way playing, and them fellas singing, the woman singing, barking, as they say, the woman barking. They went going up in a high voice and that, you know, and the barking, nobody in trying to be in tune and thing, but it's sounding good. And I just jump in, just had to sing with them, and when that happened, just something else happened for me. Then I saw a fella come in the ring, like a David and Goliath story started to play out right in front of me. I see this man terrorizing everybody, and this short man with a white ras. It's really a brown ras.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you as remember it like a TV show now.
Of course.
And he come in, small guy say, hey boy, look, Cali come out of jail, boy, you know? So in my head, I see the movie. Man, don't come out of jail this morning. It didn't come out this morning, you know?
But you see it that way.
You see it that way, and like he come out of jail, he pick up his stick and he ready to go, and he deal with that man, and he was terrorizing everybody. So that real life David and Goliath. And for some reason, I say I want to be able to do that.
But you jump in and you sing with it. So how it end up being you in the stick fight now? You just see it and say, by that time you're already martial arts trained.
Yeah, but I was martial arts trained, but then I was saying to myself that I watch myself in a gi, which is a Japanese style. And I was like, well, where my culture? Where my martial arts? Where my black? You know? With Trinidad own.
Of course.
And Virgin at the time, you know, he was very interested in it as well. Give him that.
Right.
And he and I kind of went into that world together.
Right.
And we met some of the masters one by one, like a real TV show. You know, you're junior and you meet this one, and then after you meet this one, you meet this one, after you meet that one, and so the thing going now. And each of them imparted themselves onto us, you know, gave us these skills, and not just these skills, but they opened their heart, the homes, the village to us at that time, which is really St. Mary's, Moruga area.
Gotcha.
And we placed stick. We got into the communities very deeply, you know, because the guy, he ran a contract for an oil field company, so he was also involved in the work, the day-to-day. He was hiring people in the area, you know, so he had more than just a cultural interest. He had an interest from the perspective of people work.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, you know, and then community integration came afterwards.
Got it.
So it was a sort of anthropological journey, but in my head, I was seeing an old Chinese kung fu movie when,
of course,
you know, you're going to the masters and they're carrying you in the bush to learn to hit.
And you find your local version of it.
Yeah. Gotcha. I tell you, it's the same script. Boy meets hero. Hero takes him in, teaches him technique in the forest.
Right. Gotcha.
And then throws hero into pool of piranhas to see if he could swim.
Yeah, fight till you see the bigger boss.
Yeah, young hero survives and story continues.
But that's something you can skip by on this podcast, you know, as a Kaiso and Soca man. So you're from South originally? We only connect down there? Or where from originally?
From Point 14.
From Point? Yeah. Okay. That explains some of it too. So how you end up with Showing Chester and Traffic? What was that? How you end up there?
So back in my day, wow.
Yeah, I know. Your day, right?
Jeez.
All know it's your day.
I know the reason why it's my day still is because I'm doing this since really young now.
Sure.
So I still have youth in me enough to feel like, you know, we still functioning. But I went on the radio yesterday and I was talking to RKG. Shout out to RKG. And it's a couple of us who've been around. We still young, but we're doing it so long that we could talk about what we was doing 15, 20 years ago in the music industry. So back in them days, now everything is social media, but we didn't have social media back then. So men used to print CDs, print a whole stack of CDs, a bag. You used to invest your money in that.
Yeah, of course.
To go and burn CDs. And you carry them, you carry each CD to each radio station and hope for a play.
Yeah, trying for your music. Yeah, of course.
And stuff like that. So another technique that we used to use is you always want to be backstage. You want to always get backstage, even if you didn't start out, because you want to talk to a boy. You know, like long time how men in the rap world, they would always have a demo ready to give to an artist.
Of course.
Right, so back then same thing. You'll have a CD and you give it to a man and let him hear it. And then you'll probably give it to a band leader. Right. So my mother knew the band leader for Traffic, which is Andy Joseph.
Okay.
Right, Andy Joseph still runs and owns Traffic, but you know, back then was Eddie and Showin and you know.
Could it be Sean Carew too at that
time?
time?
Well, my era was Showin and Sean.
Got you.
Shout out to Sean Carew. That's my bro. You know what I mean? Like
bad man.
Talented, amazing guy, and also one of the most, you know what I mean, genuine people you'll ever meet. Real funny too. Kicks on tour, which I had a dread tour. My tour was hard. I didn't like that tour.
No?
At all, no. I didn't like that tour. Like the real talks. But Sean was the best part of that tour for me. He was always kicksy, always kept things light. And he's a man you couldn't do him when you want now. But he come from Ecstatic, so he went through. He been through that and then come and do. So you can really teeth up Sean head.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, in that whole time where we shopping your music and you're asking, you're trying to get gigs, you're trying to, you know, and get people to log on to your music, produce it, play on the radio. That's the part we used to be running and playing on the radio now.
You needed that, right?
Yeah, that was what it was.
That's the exposure.
But then certain things foggy, but you know, I knew that it was a time when we would hunt down certain men.
Right.
You know, and watch to see where the openings are and stuff like that. So I said, okay, my mom know this man. He's always he used to check for me, and they used to check for me. You know, knowing who I was.
Right.
I was the son of a friend of his in the soca fighting up.
Got you.
Like if I come off stage and them going up after, you know, he might stay or he would say he might watch me. You know, he watch me.
Looking out for you.
And then I'd also won Junior Soca Monarch too.
Oh, nice.
No, I'd won Junior Soca Monarch, but I think where they saw me was on Synergy, right?
Got it.
Or Synergy Soca Stars. When I came second in that.
Oh, you were in that?
Yeah, I was in that.
Okay.
I was in the second season with Umi Makano. And
oh, really?
Yeah, so he came first, I came second. We had a real, back then, serious war.
I was real involved in that show.
Yeah.
Back then we were doing sponsorship. Sony Ericsson was a sponsor.
Right.
And my company was representing Sony Ericsson back then. So yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Y'all were 1 and 2.
Yeah.
On any given day in any order.
Yeah. So it had that time and we shout out to Umi Makano though, you know what I'm saying? Because we own the history of Synergy Soca Stars is us.
He will be here someday. That's my partner, you know. I was St. James man too, so he will be here someday.
Yeah.
That was a battle for Soca Stars, boy.
Yeah,
that was one of them years.
It was.
Two good vocalists, two good performers.
Yo, I totally hated that guy back then.
Yeah.
It was like so Rico Suave and shit, and like, you know, got all, you know, airing in his air and shit. You know, I'm like, and I just dumped it. And like, who this guy, bro? You know.
I don't know if I remember it that way, you know.
I remember it.
I remember you being this sweet boy, anything, pause.
Serious?
I remember that. I remember you as the man who all the girls watching a certain way. Take a drink to that, eh? You needed a drink there.
Boy.
Memory ain't good. I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I remember what happened back then.
Wow. Because remember, I lived that life. It's me, so I'm not seeing everything.
No, I watch it from the outside. I watch it from the crowd too. But again, it was a
here people tell me I lost for, right? Remember when I come out to tease me when you want to come out in a what do you call it? In a robe, a satin robe and pants.
Yeah,
and I never open it.
They was waiting for that.
They was waiting for that and never do it, right?
Yeah.
And my mind, my belly big.
Yeah. Belly
I didn't
big
ask
is
this
a
man.
boy,
When I
man.
look back on them days, I was like, bro, what was wrong with you? What was just open it thing and
Well,
you know, like
boy,
my belly wasn't
listen.
big, but you know, in your mind you tell yourself, I need a 6-pack to do this, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
nah.
yeah,
So
no.
anyway, that's how I got in the band too. Being in they saw that, they saw,
Right.
you know, Umi got pulled into Ecstatic and I ended up with Showing.
I remember that.
Yeah. So not Showing, as in Showing, but Andy and them,
but the band
because
got it.
Showing was Showing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tense thing too, because you come in the band to do our good works,
Right.
and hey, Showing Manchester, boy, you know, it wasn't that friendly, you know, it wasn't.
I see.
It wasn't that friendly at all.
I find that something is here common in soca and calypso in the country. So you hear a man who have a good song, you hear it in the calypso tent or in the soca arena where they say they had this, they had that, everything was going good for them. But when they go backstage in a calypso tent, they say it was a rough world, it was a cold world.
I have a few vague memories of,
Yeah.
you know, backstage, a few Dimash Grass stages and Calypso tents. You know, the kind of places I've been, you know, a good thing for this podcast because I probably would have never think back on them thing. You know, but I've seen some, like, I don't know, it probably obviously going on still. You know, there's a different version of tent life. But had days, bro, when you would see Shagalos and them in the heyday with all that gold and his skin looking red and shiny and you have on some matching thing and he looking neat.
Yeah, of course.
And he going on stage just now and do his thing and, you know, that energy in the back. And you see, Calypso tent women, the backup singers, have a whole different energy from, like, backup girls for, like, soca.
Yeah, it's a
You know what I
different-
mean?
yeah,
It's like some stalwart women,
Yeah, of course.
you know, who could really sing and
Yeah, and they
dancing.
know all the songs.
They know all the
learn
songs.
40-something
That'll-
song for the season. Yeah.
That'll
yeah.
come out.
Yeah, for you to say that, you have to be in that.
Yeah, boy.
People don't remember that backup singer
Nah,
era.
boy, backup
With the
singers.
same 4 singers going and
Four
sing
singers.
for every artist. Come on.
Yeah, and then it probably might have 2 crews.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
2,
it
3
might
crews.
switch out.
Yeah, I'll switch out and 3 women always, and then it had the women you always want to get with and, you know, get to as in
Yeah,
both
with
ways
you.
actually, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has some ones that is like, you know, the Calypsonians watching some of them because that woman
you
come
mean?
on looking the
How you
best.
mean? How you mean?
You know
And
what
when
I
them
mean?
done, when a man done sing, them running the back, his outfit changes, this and lyrics.
Yeah.
That's
So, but
a different era and time.
we remember the eras like it was yesterday, but not really. It's not really
Yeah, I know what you mean. But that's a long, when you say in the beginning, it's a long time you're in it. So I fast forward into today because last year, as I say, we say all kind of things. Masha says she ain't coming back to Trinidad for Carnival. We never believe that. You say you're looking to put on some vocals. I say, all right, let me hear how that go. And inspired by all, I say, you know what? I like calypso, soca. I could talk about that for days, but there are plenty parts of the culture that I just don't understand. Like I remember talking to you about stick fighting and thinking it's more of a dance than a real fight. And when you say busted is real thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I was glad to hear when you come out with this song last year. Glad to report too that after we recorded last time, I went to a little stick fighting event. Although I hear it was nothing I went to NCC thing up in the stadium in Diego Martin. But the NCC is a dance. It's not really a fight. I guess it's not a prize.
It's all fight.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, known inside truth. Finals night is never the best night.
No.
That's the time everybody bomb
What do you mean?
No, I think if you really take it deep and you look to study it, you will find things. But we see when a man just fighting for fighting's sake rather than he fighting in front of a crowd
Right.
for a couple $1,000 prize in a structured format.
Yeah.
We have jitters too, you know. You have jitters just like that's something King Kali teach me. One of my top 3 teachers.
Right.
He says always a good shit rolling down the hill on finals night.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch and see. And year after year, because some of men does just not be as sharp.
I got you.
And it's for plenty different reasons too. One reason come through our whole season too, fighting. Remember too. So yeah, things broken, things damaged, things and then the stress of that jitter night. Remember, you're not just studying to win, you're studying to live.
Of course.
You're studying to survive.
Yeah, your
first.
reputation, your life.
Reputation,
Yeah,
your life.
I got you.
Crowd. right? So, and you're not doing it for that much money like a prize
I see what
fighter.
you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I was wonder too because if I had to bust a head for 100,000 versus a man, but I see men going real bad for $300 in the ring, boy.
Yeah.
Worse than, you know. I
Well, I
it's
guess
not
for
that
a
much
fighter,
pressure
it's
too.
not the money always. If you have an opponent in front of you, you want to win.
Yeah, but I talking about in terms of what you experience now.
Yeah.
You know, like it wasn't as hard because of
No,
all
well,
the
I
NCC.
kind of assume, all right, let me say all of we, WWE is what I kind of assume. Because if all of we reach a level, right, and we reach a final, and I don't know what the prize is at that point in time, but I'm assuming NCC prize would be bigger than a fight happening down in Maruga.
Yeah.
It looked to me as if, when I saw the two women in the final, for instance, it looked like they just decide, here what? Me and you done here, we go take that first and second prize, we go bust that in half, and we go damage one
pretty
another.
much.
I figured it looked like that. But it was a
much.
nice show though, a good spectacle, you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it looked like just plenty of that on that night.
Yeah.
But the stands was full. It was a good energy in the space, so it's something I would do more of. But I know in terms of your songwriting and your song this year, Doh Kry. Apart from this, get me worried, you know. Not just your song, but only when you see the calendar come on and you tell me, if you bust my eye, don't cry. If you break your finger, I try to understand the mindset of a man who hearing that and still going in the ring. Because when I hear that, if I size up to fight, right, and a man say, if you lost your eye, don't cry, I out. Retirement for me immediately. What's the mindset like before you go into one of them fights? Boy?
Pretty much what the song says, you know. I had men with gun in the waist come up to me and say, watch this red man. See this? See what you doing there? I'm not doing that.
Huh.
And more than one man tell me that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, boy, I mean, going to show a lot lash thing with all in our way. You go and hot up my skin, you mad, or you see this here? Clack, clack. It done. I said, boy. You know what I mean? This
One
nigga
and
got
done.
a gun, though.
The gun is the easiest thing.
You know what I mean? This nigga is
You could
racking
stay
bullets
from a
right
distance.
now. What's going on?
Yeah. I watching one the other day where the referee and all have a boy in his hand. Like if you had to go in between, you had to have it.
Yeah. But you pour the second part or
Yeah.
most of the men who not most, all the men who refereeing could play stick too. So unless in case something coming at you.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I
If
guess
they get
an
sparry,
experienced
you
man
know,
didn't want to be in there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get damaged and
So Doh Kry, how it going this year so far with that?
well, I'll tell you how it's going. Just get a message on my phone and say, boy, I don't come from work and you working plant.
Right.
Plant, estate plant.
Yeah, well, and gas kind of thing.
Yeah. I say, boy, that man, I'm talking about this song. I'm not listening for Juve. That your song? Yeah, he say, bad boy, people talking, boy. Ting. So every day I get something like that. You know, for me, the idea is to build it.
Right.
Because I'm taking a different approach this year from usual. Usually, I would bring out a song and put all the love, energy, and effort into the production of it. So,
Right.
so studio work. When the song drop, for different reasons, wherever it is, energy will be the same as when we're in the studio.
Yeah?
So like you'll find I'm not pushing it as hard or
Oh, okay. You're talking about with your history.
yeah,
release and
yeah,
so on. Got it.
and creativity too. Sometimes I'll like, all right, I'll come by, affordable import studio, and where we shooting right now. Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Conrad and them.
All the time.
Yeah. I'll come and shoot a music video here,
Right.
and for artists, somebody else, and I'll do that, and I'll promote it. I'll push it hard. But when I do my thing, my video for my song, I'll just throw it out.
Yeah, hope for the best.
Yeah. And I find over time, like, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, you have videographer, you have filmmaker, you have producer, songwriter, artist. Why? Let's try something new.
Right.
Let's try to turn the energy you put on other people who have millions of views from your productions, who are, benefiting from you. Like, sometimes you check yourself and like, when it's time to do other people work, it's storyboard.
Of course.
It's this, it's that. Full rollout,
It's the shoemaker and the shoes thing, right?
You understand?
Right.
I'm like, 2025, let's not do that. But it took some time to get there too.
Right.
Because, you know, working with different types of artists, some people, not all, will make you feel like a lot of your effort wasn't worth it now.
Right.
You know? The doing this be better than the do. Meaning like when it's done and you create it and you know what you went through to create and you give it to them, it's like, all right, thanks. It's like, wow.
Right.
And things, experiences like that wouldn't just be attitude, it would be the way the person, how much they pay or what they pay,
Right.
the reluctance to pay for certain things,
Of course.
in terms of recognition of the value of it, you know, what you put into it, not just on the technical side, but the creative side. I'm like,
creative side has a value in this country for some reason.
It is. But I said to myself, you are, you know, so how about we try a different way? How about we put it to a point where you invest in yourself?
Yeah.
You know, so doing this song and creating it is the first investment. But what we're doing now is working the muscle of seeing it through. You know?
As you would have done for somebody else, right?
Yeah, pretty
much.
much.
Yeah.
That is the core exercise right now, to practice the muscle of staying focused
Right.
for a consistent period of time on my brand, myself, my work.
That's good. That's
You know?
good. Congrats on that too.
Yeah.
Congrats on that
Thank
too.
you.
That's important. Like I saw you on the radio circuit last week or within the last few weeks I've seen you doing the circuit. I want to thank you personally for singing this song too, because before we started recording, I was telling you, there was in our time at Juve, we've gone back to this our time thing, right? Like old men. But in our time when we was playing Juve as youths, right? Juve music had an energy and a feel. And not necessarily the Juve topic, but the feel of it, a powder, whatever it was, that was different from Pretty Mass. And I don't know if I just missing it, you will tell me, you're in the industry, but I haven't heard a whole lot of it over the years. You might hear one, like I remember one year in particular, M1 had sing a song about coming out early at Juve morning. And that captured exactly what it was. And that was the music that used to play whole Juve morning.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
now it's the road march and the big songs that they're pushing for on the road.
I ain't even gonna lie, that you skip all the BS and get straight to that and say, yo, like, a lot of these songs you're there on Juve morning, it's songs you're kind of really supposed to be hearing Carnival Tuesday
This is what I
on
mean.
the stage, and it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
It's
You
not
could
the
mix
same.
it, and we come from that. Remember Hunter and Love Until Rhythm section? You know our names? Hunter.
Yeah.
It had I'm glad we're doing this podcast, 'cause I wanted to talk about this for a long
tell me.
time. You know, remember Jab Malasi,
Yeah.
Jab Malasi, Jab Malasi, Jab Malasi, Jab Malasi. That when Machel sing
Them was some days, you know.
come on, son. You know them kind of thing. It had what's the name of that? It had a party down Shagaramas called. What's the name of that party? It was a Johnny party boy, but I think it was called Sun or some shit like that. But it was a party that was, I think it used to happen Sunday morning.
Not done?
Dawn.
Remember them days, boy?
It's Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sang Sun for Dawn.
Right, yeah,
and that was
yeah.
a kind of pre-Juve
Yeah,
party
boy.
kind of vibes too.
Yeah. It was
Hey, remember Boy Scouts?
Yeah, of
When
course.
Machel them used to leave Boy Scouts, and when Jay-Z come
Oh, yeah.
and
That
do
would be
Big
the same
Pimpin',
time. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
right?
You have memory for real.
I
That
mean,
is true.
And when it have a truck behind the stage,
yeah.
so when Juve
Some
morning
years
come,
they didn't even do the stage. They perform on the truck some
right,
years for
and
Boy
the truck
Scouts.
will pull off, and the whole Boy Scouts crew heading out onto Juve
Yeah.
with the truck.
Yeah, that energy. It's I don't want to say it gone because things is a cycle. You never know how things will come back. But Boy Scouts is a special one, boy. Boy Scouts was a special one. Like I have one particular memory in Boy Scouts with Machel and them performing in the truck. That was some of his last days performing on the road. If I'm not mistaken, the song is Powder Pussy, right? And that Powder Pussy, when we play that or sing that from leaving Boy Scouts till reach QRC, you know, brother. And they pass Belmont side. The one song, you know. And had the place in a trance going down the road. So I don't know if you could have them days, if you could have tried and play the road march or no properly polycommotion. It's a chip.
Nah, it's a chip.
And I wonder into if maybe the change at the time, because I do remember leaving Boy Scouts too, and it's bottle and the other run at the front time with them thing too.
So here what I say, right? the song is born. The song came out how it wanted to come out. For me, I was a writer. I will tell you that. And sometimes I sit down and watch the song and say, "Why you come out so? Why you so? You know, you born dread.
Yeah.
Who's your father? Where you come from? Where you get on so far? You know, like I was like, gosh, boy, why this song had to be so? Why I can't be one of them guys who could sing a nice, cool song and all the kids jumping. No, I get the mutant.
But let me ask you something before you go on with that. If you're writing for somebody else, you're going down that vein, because I remember you telling me you're written Boss Head. We were talking about Rosie, you know? Which was so inspired by this stick fighting to both of them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, I've written a number of songs, but the songs that stick to people's mind is the stick fight things.
Yeah, energy.
Yeah. But I don't know when I get up in the morning and all of a sudden have this portfolio, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's been, it was almost an entire decade of, wasn't a decade of fighting per se, but a decade being involved in that aspect of the culture, because we didn't fight every single year.
Yeah.
Of course, there are many men with greater tenure than I do, but I just trying to say that I didn't even, what? Keegan Taylor from Prez?
Yeah.
Is a known stick fighter in Trinidad. We're talking about.
Who would have thought?
Like, where that come out from? You know, but it's just, the journey we had was interesting.
Right.
You know, Dr. Christopher Laird, the founder of Banyan, did a documentary about our journey.
Right.
And he followed me through to the finals or something like that.
Right.
And a film called No Bois, No Afraid. And there's another one done called, can't remember the name right now. I must get them back and watch them in
Yeah, that would be nice. It would be good. If you
yeah.
get them, I would love to see that.
I think I could send it to you and could probably talk it over.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Put it over.
Yeah, if I could do that, I will. If I could do that, I will.
But it at that time, I know that because of who we were and who we knew, we opened a portal for a certain group of people to see into the world.
Right.
So like Christopher Laird and you know, others who would have worked with us had an opportunity to access something that was in African tradition usually hidden.
Yeah.
You know, so we had become interested in the community, and still in many ways, you know, because it become part of the community.
Yeah, that might be part of the story, you know, Keegan. Now that you say that might be one of the reasons why when you write in that vein, it resonates so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's where it's coming from.
Yeah. Don't doubt that, because I remember the whole hype behind Machel and Bunji going and do a collaboration, which I suppose as a creator, right, you seeing that unfolding already, kind of knowing what happened behind the scenes, right? But the first thing I saw was Machel started commenting on Bunji posts, and they want to do something together, and they didn't seem at least to the public, it didn't look like they have the best relationship or any relationship at all.
Remember that? Is that post, and it started with that post.
I remember that.
Maybe a year or two before.
Yeah, it was some time before, you're right. And I always remember in the post, Machel, because they bounced up on a stage somewhere and it was cordial. And he posts something, hey, time to collaborate in Bunji public post, and Bunji say, hey, this is not the time or the space is not, you know what I mean? Let me talk about that behind closed doors. So I felt like if the world anticipated, and me in particular as a fan of the thing, trying to see what a collaboration between both of them will look like, because Bunji very, very rooted in Calypso. In the way he's put together songs, he know the culture. Machel collaborates with everybody it have, past, present, and future. He's been collaborating with everybody, and then that missing, and them is the two kings at the time. So as a fan, anticipating, okay, what they go come with? If it's a road march vibe like he and Skinny Fabulous, and then I hear this song, and I remember initially the public might have been confused when they hear this song, because people expect a big power soca and a big like family lele, right? But I'll tell you something. When I hear that, and I said, well, who come up with this, boy? Because a stick fight reference had to be the greatest metaphor for the relationship that them two fellas have. And this from my little bit of experience watching stick fight. Because me and you as enemy, we go and fight for a time, but we respect one another. Respect one another, at least not to rush in wild to one another as bois men. So when I hear that song, I say, well, how they come up with that idea that a bus or a stick fight song, the theme, even the little branding for the song was two bois coming together. And, you know, is it something that, who came up with the idea that that was the theme that they were going for?
So, first of all, Machel and I have known each other for a very long time.
Right.
Especially remember, take you back to the whole upcoming artists reaching out to the higher ones, say backstage, and you know, doing that networking.
Yeah, to do it in person long time, right?
Back then, in social media,
you walk up to a man.
DMing was knowing where men going and be.
That's right, and show up the facts.
Yeah, so it had a lot of that, and I know big start talk about, but they know who you are, you know who they are, you know, all the heads, you know. From Bunji, go straight back to everybody. Back then, it had interesting people backstage. Tony Prescott and them still around. All the bands from Atlantic go straight back.
Yeah, that was band era.
Yeah, band era and thing. So Machel was part of that. And you know, obviously you're targeting Machel because he's the biggest.
Of course.
You know. So we had a relationship coming through the years that got closer in terms of proximity and conversation. And somewhere along the line, I said we had to do something fair, you know? Or collaborate, I think it was. But I always wanted to have a song and Machel on it.
Right.
You know, like as a youth man coming up, that would be the ultimate flex. But I had already begun playing with stick fight and entered that world. So a meld of some kind I was thinking about. It wasn't that serious. But anyhow, the point I'm making is when I brought Busted to Machel, it was already something he was expecting. Because, you know, I think he was interested as well. He had to be interested.
Yeah.
And so when we came with the idea, I worked with a producer, advocate, Kit Israel. Very talented guy as well. Very, 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 very talented. Almost like Elon Musk kind of talent of music and all the other trappings. But he and I were vibing on a certain level at that time. And he literally gave me this space to create because he don't know about that. But what he does know is the music. The feel. So that gung 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 gung.
Yeah, just the opening, right?
Yeah, them thing is Kit, you know, feeding off of my energy with the darkness.
Right.
Knew it had to go there.
Is Kit Israel?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
And the song came from, and again, we at that time we had a synchronization in terms of how we worked together. We wrote a lot of cool songs together. Right. But what I'd say about that relationship was he's a talented writer as well, but he also knew when to let you create because he understands what you bring in. So he know he want that. So he even let that happen. You know, interfere with that.
Got you.
So at time we sit down by the piano, and he playing chords, looking for the gung, them tones now.
Right.
And I looking for the song. Because that night we come to do that.
Right.
You know? I think it was 11 o'clock at night in Kenny Phillips' studio. Actually, we started there. And he entered gung, and he playing things. And I looking for tone. And I changed my voice. Because usually if I write in a song, I'll write it like this, or I'll change in a certain range of changing. But with that now,
I went, they come out to bust my head, I went.
Yeah.
Then my voice is here.
Well, I went like that.
And I was like, nah, that's shit. He's like, no, boy, that bad, boy. You know? And Brian line, after that, I shut off. I don't know where the song come from. The song just come out after that. But the lyrics for it come from, and I'll never say this. Should I give the podcast people this, boy?
Yeah, it's good time. You take a drink to that too.
You feel you in drinks, champs, though.
That's the idea. Hey, that's the idea. Drunken people really.
Nah, but the song has many levels in terms of what the lyrics saying. It was talking about how I was feeling in my life at the time. A lot of my music is how I feeling or what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I don't see a problem with that. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you write a song for everybody to hold on to, and sometimes you write a song.
It's for you.
You write a song, come from you, you know.
Yeah.
But the trick or the skill in songwriting is being able to say something from you that's real, but also something other people could identify with. Because if it's not real to you, it wouldn't be born properly. It'll come out like plastic. It's like an AI made thing. But if a man make a shoes fair and he's sweating it, you know.
Yeah, you must connect.
I watch a Chinese movie at time, a martial arts movie, and the Chinese woman, they don't know why the wine tasting so good. Now the man infatuated with the woman, beating up everybody. You think you want to get this woman.
Right.
And because the wine she making are intoxicating them now. And they jump up on the wall, stand up on the wall, and you watching this woman make this wine. And again, it's in slow motion, and she singing, and the sweat falling in the It's umanga like the man
Of course.
right?
Is it Jerry the curry?
Yeah, Jerry the curry there, and he ain't studying that. Is she pretty and he sweat and die will gain the wine and extra flavor now. You know what I mean? So that is the difference in AI and a man-made thing.
Human connection.
You know, so when you make a song, if you make a song from you, and that's why good songwriting, you have different experiences, or at the very least, the right way to know about.
Right.
You know, that's why, you know, adults know about sex, so they will figure out a way different ways to talk about sex.
Right.
You know, about alcohol. You know how you feel when you drink alcohol. It's personal feelings. Many people could connect to sex, alcohol. You know, jumping up on a road is a shared experience. So you try to sing about what you know. Sometimes, like, I know people have written dread mass songs and they never play mass.
Yeah. Carnival have plenty of that. Man who's singing rum song, don't drink rum.
But there's a difference when a man actually is about that.
Yeah, you would know.
So yeah, because even Waiting on the Stage, right? That I wrote for Machel too. That win road match. But I never play mass.
Right.
I never play mass.
So what has happened to that Waiting on the Stage energy?
I'll tell you how. Big up to my boy Sebastian Bradshaw. I used to live downstairs to him. And he always used to play techno music. So the techno I hated it. And I get up in his music blasting upstairs. But then after a while, I get accustomed to it, and that's seeping.
Right.
That's part one. Part two, I used to work at a company called Allied Security. And I used to do bodyguard work with a guy called Vince.
Right.
And Vince called us to do bodyguard work for a band leader and his daughter and his whole family. So I was protecting one of the women, the daughter. I was with the daughter. So she was real wild. She going everywhere. And you had to keep eyes on and twirling on her and we were following her through the band. Right? And I think she wore the backpack. She was the queen. So things used to get interesting around stage time now.
In space.
Right. So she'll be at the front and everybody gang up behind her. And then you had the security who would lock in hands. And I'm right there with her, right? But I'm not on her, but I'm with her.
Yeah.
So she right there and I right here and I just singing, making so she's safe, right? And while I watching there now, everybody around here going so.
Yeah, that's our energy. That's our
right?
vibe,
And you had to stand up so. But then you had to flow because you can't look shepherd, right? This thing and you just vibing on you. And that...
Yeah, that is a movie. That's a vibration.
Right?
That's different.
And wherever song it is that year, I can't remember what song it was that year, you just wait and let me just pretend it's open the gate show in Manchester because that was one of them. The time, you know?
That was one of them.
Open the gate that we're talking about. That when the security open up. But that bonks. That will give me waiting on the stage.
The techno feel
techno stage, waiting. You know? So it's like I remember driving through the fields in Petrichin and I'll do a training session with my boy Mumba. And I used to write a lot driving.
Right.
Yeah, boy.
That's unsafe, but go ahead.
No, like you're driving and you're just holding our vibes and you're singing, you're chanting in the car. Because I used to drive long distances, real far. Always going Maya Road, Moruga.
Right.
some way, some long drive.
Yeah. So you're saying.
And that's time I'm coming from a training session. So your blood running and I just get this vibe coming through the fields. Fields, you know the fields in South.
Yeah,
There's trees on either side.
Mm-hmm.
And I just getting on, whining in a rage, getting on real bad, waiting on the stage. And I will get. You have to figure out the rest.
Yeah,
And every day after that, in the evening time, you're
Come in.
building because you're locked into this melody, boy. You gotta get this, boy. But I think the best thing I needed to capture was, or the most powerful thing that I remember when I sing to your stage is that is not the part that reminisces the part in the thing. The part that reminisces that for me is it's so yeah that we waited.
It's feel that way.
Oh yeah. And we anticipated. Oh no, hey, so yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That for me is the experience crystallized
No, it crystallized for sure.
into a moment.
It's really just a few songs that was able to do that over the years, you know? Because it also, that song I didn't know you write that song either, but that song captured the release. When them, as a masquerader, I could tell you, that when I was a young man, I had energy. Now I don't cross no damn stage. I don't have energy for that shit no more. But when you see the men move, that song captured that fully, that little techno part where it's like you just get through. Because when you get through on the stage, right, you have to get up that ramp to really be on the stage. And that and all have a kind of vibe until you understand?
Charge up the
You have to
mountain,
charge
yeah.
up. And that song captured it perfectly. That's something else. That's
I give my idea for a song called Take the Hill.
yeah, well, there you go. 2026, or we doing this
the hill,
this year. It's a long carnival, no? It's a time and space. You know?
Kind of conquest, kind of tune, you gotta conquer the stage.
But that's some plenty men try to sing song about conquer the stage. If you capture that feeling right, you're tapping into something. And as I'm talking tapping into something, I'll get to another song that we spoke about with Destra and Young Brother. With
Rosie, yeah.
Yeah, because again, you go a little stick fighting, or you follow your Instagram long enough, you go here, Rosie coming down with a bunch of roses coming, sweet, and I say, well, I remember hearing this song the first time. This is before Machel tell me about you're coming in, right? And I remember talking on the podcast and saying, whoever the hell come up with this concept, I'm grateful for it because Young Brother is a person to me who was in this life a few times before. Clearly, he have a whole soul. And the DJ too, Hottie and them fellas have a vibe, right? And to have a vibe like that, that's so in touch with what I know as Carnival, maybe even what my parents know, and to be so in touch with youth is a special. That will happen often, right? He's a servant to me.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
Something else, boy. And when I heard he was trying to do soca and thing, and I saw a little scene in the airport where he meet Destra, and he's so respectful of Destra and who she is. Yeah, I mean Destra a legend, right? But I was so glad that somebody find a live way to put him in. For what would it be to me? I don't know if I write about that. So his first entry into soca. I'm not sure if he had other soca before.
I think it's one of the biggest.
It's had to be one of the
entries.
well, exactly.
Yeah,
If it's not the first, it's the biggest. It really puts him there to see what he doing this year.
Yeah.
And that love way energy was something else with that song with him and Destra.
Yeah, I really wish we had gotten to do more with that song.
Right. In terms of promotion, you mean?
Promotion and the music video and that kind of stuff because that song, again, it has a deeper meaning than just, it had so many meanings. It's a collaboration between Destra and Young Brother, which is a continuing story that people cared about.
Yeah.
The Rosie song was again another ode to not just the stick fighting, but the damn Lorraine energy.
Gotcha.
So I kind of, through time, telling a story with the music. The Dame Lorraine energy. That is homage to the Dame Lorraine, in song.
Right.
And the culture in that way as well. So all this, was really for that, to kind of make these two iconic. Because Destra was always the person. I wrote that song a while back.
Right.
About 10 years.
Oh, really?
And Destra voiced it originally. And we pushed her to improve it 10 years later because she's like, let's do some things different for now because the lyrics then had to change, especially to fit Young Brother. So it worked out to be a really strong track. But in my heart, I feel like, I wanted it to be more than just, okay, we did this and it's a recording time.
Right.
I wish that we had an opportunity for people to, but immortalizing the love ways in the mainstream has a greater purpose. Who do it? If Machel and Bunji sing Boss Head, and Young Bredda and Destra sing Rosie.
Yeah. I see what
You have a story happening. Then the writer come out and sing Doh Kry a few years later. That is a work in itself for me.
Yeah.
Because this is the continuation of, or the execution of a promise I gave to Stick Fight and to my teachers back then, and even to myself more than 10 years ago when I fell in love with Stick Fight and what it did for me. Because whether I'm fighting any guy now or not, it taught me to be a man.
Yeah, gotcha.
A different type of man too.
So it's your appreciation for that journey.
Yeah, and the men who stood with me, the teachers, everybody, a lot of people stood with me, to enter the guy, I didn't walk in, I never walked by myself, so it's me paying respect to the culture.
Yeah, and it comes through because even in putting it in a love way and keeping the theme right, a man who don't know what stick fighting is but might know Machel or know Bunji, bound to ask a question about, okay, well, why
we had the whole West crowd in Chagramas.
Yeah.
Parties singing Holy Vay. I'm talking about Joe Tamana.
And all them singing Holy Faith.
Yeah, Holy Faith.
Yeah, I don't know who's Joe Tamana. Nice,
Holy Faith.
You get that? But all that nice, all that nice because
Holy
it's a
Faith,
story.
yeah,
It's a story to tell. But even fast forward to your song this year, let me tell you something about that. Other than the Juve vibe, the opening vocals in that song, it's a problem in life.
Welcome
Jesus.
to Juve. Everything come out of your hole.
There's something else, boys. It make me wonder, like, what make you when you go in the studio come up with that? It's something else. Something else. When I hear it, I say, nah, boy. Like, the man gets serious, boy. The man gets serious. You appreciate the Juve song. I hear you talking about Strive Juve. Salute to Strive Juve. My wife tell me we playing in Strive.
Salute to Strive and
so
Line Juve.
Where else they finding your Juve morning?
Well,
You have them lined up?
we lining them up. The thing about it is this. I sing a song for certain people this year, if I'm being honest.
Right.
I feel like the mass people, the pretty mass people, pretty much covered. They always are.
They always
Pretty much
are.
covered. They always are, right? Well, let me sing something for them human jump behind them.
You need that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We sing something for them fellas who drag and train in the day and the night.
Yeah.
And then go back to it's like purge.
Yeah.
Reverse purge.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah.
one night you can put on a mask and play mad.
That's right. That's
and
right.
and it goes deeper than that. It's masking, it's the power of masking. It's something that Tony Hall
Right.
has spoken deeply about the power of ritual and masking. Without getting too deep into that, it's just an understanding that when we put on the mask, we become our true selves and
Sure.
the discovery of yourself through masking
Gotcha.
and manifesting different elements or characters of yourself for healing and growing the personal agency of yourself. So we need to power that. Like when you buy the guy, already few men can just fight a man with a stick. But when that drum call, you're doing anything.
Well, I guess. Yeah, the drum is an energy in itself, right?
So the songs, the Juve songs, have to drive the Juve. Just like you have the Fet songs that drive the Fet.
Yeah.
Like in hip hop, you
Even that
have
kinda
hip hop,
disappearing,
hip hop songs, you have club
it used to be Fet
songs.
song, road song,
Yeah,
Juve song, everything kind of started blending
everything
into
just
one.
blend into one kind of way. And I guess nothing probably wrong with that because
it's just
everything is
outside.
advancing. But I come from a certain time and place, and I want to rep certain things, for whatever reason. Because and if you watch things coming back, music just come back. So I feel like it's have some kind of solar event happening, and I swing back, and there's a rare moment in time.
Funny we talked about that
to
last
jump
time
through.
too, where a lot of the things that we would call traditional and people say not commercially, viable in mass, is seeing it coming right back around, you know what I mean? So it's an important thing. But with you being a creator, somebody who into whether it's music production, songwriting, singing songs yourself, right? And the respect I have for you, I can't leave without asking you about the current controversy, right? As we talk about Young Brother, I see him come with a song this year. Two songs to me. They have this song on the Big Link rhythm, which is the thing everybody's talking about now. But I can't remember the rhythm offhand, but there's one rhythm that going around that is
The
a
Big
very
Link.
calypso feel. Not Big
No,
Link. the other
no,
one.
Till Then.
Till Then Hall.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a very, you from the band era, that song like what Traffic and Atlantic and them would have come out with early in the season. So when I hear him on that, I find to me he interpret this song in terms of a love way, almost like he was in that era. The other men who sing in that, but maybe Machel or Lyrical, all them are great songs on the rhythm, but I like what Young Brother come with. And then I saw the Big Link come out, and one of the biggest songs in the rhythm, although it's not true at all that no woman in this world ain't going to tell you they go do all the work. You know that. Make churn and so on. It's not going to happen.
I mean,
It's a good concept.
I mean,
Yeah, you mean.
yeah, I had a real
They
search
will
for
only
that.
work for about 2 minutes. Keegan says so, right? I didn't say so.
No,
That's
Corey
right, so.
said that. And I want to defend the women out there
Yeah, do that.
who have,
Somebody needs to.
who you know, who say, let me blow your mind.
Yeah.
Then I said, all right, good, your mind blew. Let me go. Your turn.
It don't take much. It don't take much.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see him rise to the top and he have a song that big. But then the song become about Trinidad Killa jumping on the rhythm.
No, that's natural.
Yeah.
Because Carnival is Bacchanal.
Yeah.
Bacchanal is Carnival. Everybody gets on bad. That get to flex
Yeah.
on Rocky.
No, Rocky and Galen.
I think that Rocky.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Rocky.
That Rocky.
But I always wonder, okay, so if I'm as a creator, you in that space now, you build a rhythm, your rhythm catch a length, it going where you need it to go in terms of marketing, catching the length, and somebody jump on the rhythm. What's your initial take on that as somebody who in this space?
The truth is, it depends on who it is.
Yeah.
But you give me a very specific circumstance. The rhythm is what it is. It's already established. Right, it's gone. By that time, you're feeling yourself.
Right.
You're feeling the rhythm.
Right.
You're bossy. You're big. And let me add some context to it.
Sure.
Full blown on them fellas. It's men who doing this thing real long.
Yeah, they have a list.
Yeah, that's not even about the
this is
list.
impressive.
When everybody, men like me, stop and this one stop.
Oh,
and
they in it.
them fellas never stop.
Yeah, got you.
They never stop. They never stop. Well, as far as I could have
Yeah,
tell.
they've been
But
at
when
it.
I doing other things and I done seen men, 'cause I have an era of fellas now. I come up with men like Pops,
Right.
who write Savannah and Ministry Road,
Right,
Pops,
gotcha.
Jelani Pop Art Shaw.
Okay.
I come up with men like what I write. Shaft has always been around also. He's a consistent one too. But a lot of writers I came up around who were writing some of the top songs at that time. You know, we come in and out sometimes. But Full Blown is like a consistency. And you put in all that work and you finally get one of your biggest years, not one of the biggest year ever. The way how business runs, it's organized. When you're building a rhythm, you know who you want. That's part of your vision.
Right, yeah. You're building it
It's
with them in mind, kind of thing.
yeah, it's like you have a painting
You're right.
and this is what you want on it. Right? These are the colors, this is the scheme, this is the that I want on it.
Right.
And if that way you seeing, bro, that way you're seeing. Now, somebody who is equally good, just like somebody else or some other color you put on, you're not seeing that though. I'm not seeing that.
Oh, it's you.
I done lucky in here. Now, if Davido come
Yeah, I suppose.
or
Oh,
Burna
so that's what I
Boy,
mean. Depend on who it is. I got
right?
you. I got
Come.
you.
For some reason, you could start to see it. For some reason, right?
You don't get the vision.
Yes, I don't get the vision for many reasons
Of
because, you
course.
know.
Yeah.
But then, so that is one side, another side of it. The other side of his business is locked in. When these guys, like many of us, are hooked into DSPs, you know, the digital platforms,
Right.
and things are business is done a certain type of way. So we're not doing this for fun or to make people jump up alone. This is how we feed in we family. That's how them feed in the family or whatever, I assume. And I make this for people to jump about, also make this to make money too.
Of course, it's a business.
It's a business around in here. So you can't just take my thing and try to make your own money. You don't put it up on DSP.
Yeah, that was
money going
special.
towards you.
I like that.
And I'm like, bruh, you know that I get in a car crash, head into the studio to build this song. If you understand what I'm saying, you don't know why I do to build this, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but I come back to Killa now and I say Killa Dread. Like, Killa is a character within our carnival. He's designed to do that. Like, Killa has given us a whole 2 to 3 weeks of conversation. And that's what carnival, this type of conversation is not going to happen.
No.
From March go down. It'll be about murders and it'll be about so many other things. But right now, we're going to talk about Eskimo.
That's a really interesting way to look at it.
Next week, it's going to be some other carnival agent is going to act up.
Yeah.
And do something else. But Killa has chosen a very strong jester-like position, you know, where he don't care. He will cry. He will laugh. He will tell a joke. He will run through the place.
Call for rain.
Yeah, bare belly. He will say prayers. He will talk about woman. He will cuss. He will say sorry. He's a character you will tune into. People pay money to see them thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you may not like, and you get to. I see a man posted I still don't like you. I don't take you seriously, but you see that Eskimo? A man posted on Facebook. Course, at the end of the day, you get to not like something. You don't like everybody. You don't like Chucky. But you will watch a Chucky. You will watch a child's movie. You don't want that child like Chucky.
Of course.
so
but the character gets
you. The character is doing what it needs to do in the carnival. You know, Trinidad Killa is that man. Yeah. I not do anything Trinidad Killa do. Will I watch him? Of course. You know what I mean? Like, not all the time. Because even that's part of it. Like, I don't want to see this all the time. So, aside from Trinidad Killa, I have other people who you see like a man like Yankee Boy. Yankee Boy, you know, of course you know him. So Yankee Boy is every other year there's come with a controversy. Yeah. I think if you look back in Calypso too.
Yeah, they always have that.
Had a man who was the controversial man back then.
Boy, many men. Yeah.
So it has somebody
if you
who
look at Crocker as a man who sing a lot of political. Crocker used to get past that edge. Whatever that edge was, whether it is to lick Sugar Aloes for singing for the opposition, what he considered the opposition as a PNM man, or to talk about one Agil do good in common entrance and she had no hands, which is his black entering and doing good cut off the hand. He used to go just a little bit past the edge. So you're right. I never saw it that way, but you're right. The carnival have a character like that. And the truth is that the song good. I think that's undeniable.
The song is a vibe.
You said it earlier, like you see, you tap into that sentiment of people going to cross the stage. Tapping into that sentiment of people like Machel, who vex we here. She ain't vex with me and you, but she just would have liked to be here. And that Cole and all that he really come good. And Pronto is a great musician too. I know he's a press man too. Yeah, good musician. And he's doing a little fella Figueroa. And them men get onto something. So when I was talking about it on the podcast last week, and I was saying, boy, listen, understand the take that is not yours. You pick it up and you go on with it. But and that is what the world is made of. Unfortunately, we live in a world, me and you here, because somebody pick up something that wasn't their own and bring it here. And now they legitimize it. Men getting inaugurated yesterday under the same premise that have me and you here. Right? So when I look at somebody who's like me and you, pick up something that don't belong to them and try a thing. I almost, not to defend it or to say it's right or wrong, but I understand it. You know, you claim you call the men, whether you call the men or not, you have an idea and you try something. Where I find is difficult for me as a fan is the wrong and strong, or the you know, you're making it into, but the way you put it there I like, because then what else would I expect the character to do? That is what he would always do. And I see him yesterday with Nicki Minaj, you know, as you say, the apology came after all days of cussing and going live and putting it up for monetizing.
But Nicki Minaj is watching him. We have to understand that we live in an environment where we all bored to some extent. So we go on our phones.
Yeah,
and we're looking for the next thing to catch. Let's call it controversy, but it's just, it catch you.
Yeah, entertainment.
You know, it catch you. It's like, you have a million things and then, with this man, it catch you.
Yeah.
That's it. Social media is that. Can you catch me?
Yeah.
Can you catch me in a positive way or a negative way or a shocking way? But it's all about catching attention.
Yeah, in a couple seconds too, you know how much
You
time
understand
to
what I'm
get
saying?
done.
So if you're dealing with social media to catch, and Trinidad Killa has honed the art or is honing the art of catching attention. You break it down to social media.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, I mean, the individual is really a human character. He was on Synergy Soca Stars as well.
I remember that.
He
was
sing
in all
the
that,
cat.
yeah.
He was
When
in
he was
my
doing lining on the head and thing. Ben don't remember that. That cat song was a weird song.
I
Something
remember
about it was
from
odd.
years.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
he
I
was
remember
very,
that.
he was always
You
that
remember what
guy.
his name was on that show? It wasn't Trinidad Killa.
No,
then.
it was something else.
I can't remember the name. I remember the cat song. No. And you're right. That was a real character mode.
Yeah.
He couldn't be denied in that soca.
But the
song.
truth is this: his character in is him.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one of the most authentic. He's not that character that you get up in the morning and pretending.
Nah,
I'm
you
saying
probably
he's that
can't.
because that is the man. It has some men. Because Trinidad Killa was in that Synergy Soca Stars with me. Then after that, people don't know. People know. He used to love. He in the front. You see what I tell you? We used to go backstage and try to meet people. He would do that next way. He was in a kind of crew and in the front of the stage and always looking to get called up.
I see.
And then he would freestyle on people's song. He do it on a few different stages,
Yeah.
including Machel stage. Seeing Trinidad Killa as a man getting called up on stage to chant
Was a
was a normal thing.
I
In the
remember that at
carnival,
all.
yeah.
So in a flag crew and then he get called up.
They get called out. And then I feel one or two times he was planted, you know.
I guess.
He started to get
Oh,
more,
right, that would make sense.
But more times Trinidad Killa was a man you will call up. He somehow he used to get the singer's attention and come up on the stage and whine. He said whine too.
I remember that.
Whine
So
and
whine
sing
on the
and
head
yeah and all kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a different world.
But when you're sitting around about this industry, the things we see now is just one thing. But everything, a lot of the men who out here now, out here long time, you know, or trying long time. Or it's a lot of peers, a lot of men who share the pains and the PTSD of coming through different control regimes of carnival.
Right.
You know, you had your different prep promoters, remember men like Randy Glasgow and Roy Maraj and
Cliff
Harris and
them
you
are
know
the
them was the
thing.
men
Yeah,
used to run show. Now it's Jules
Just a
and
cycle,
them
yeah.
and
Just a
this one and that
I
one.
remember, and you know, it's such a cycle that I remember the days when Cliff Harris and them was in charge, and smaller promoters, maybe not Jules himself, but promoters like that at that level, complaining about fight down and they squeezing me out. And then you find that them who get on top now, the conversation starts to become the same. Somebody coming up the ranks and feeling like they're getting squeezed or they're getting fight down or whatsoever it might be. But yeah, but I'm glad for Trinidad Killa in the end though. I mean, he got a link there with Nicki Minaj. I hope it work out. But as I say, is the character mode, at some point they go swing. He's that kind of guy.
And guess what? The world is ready to see it.
Tell him that's right.
We love to see a train wreck in occurrence. We like the shock horror. We like social shock horror.
Right.
We like to see people crash out. We like to see people fall apart and come back together, fall apart.
You see a little comeback story.
We like that. We like that. Trinidad Killa is a true comeback story. You know, a lot of people. There's another guy, a producer, man, again, in the Gujung of the thing, I call KG. I didn't listen to the interview, but people talking about his perspective.
I saw him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, which is, you know, he's doing really great work. I've never looked at anything yet.
Yeah, he has
But,
great interviews. I like him a lot.
Because what he's doing is what's supposed to be done, you know?
The documenting.
Yeah, but we need one of that for soca.
Yeah, well, let me be that. I go be there. And he will do it too, because that's I used to have a lot of respect for. I watch everything he does. And I heard the pain when he was talking about how Trinidad Killa was treated and how Zest movement treated him. Yeah, you must listen to youth, you know. I find there's that thing in Trinidad we do. Sometimes we just get upset with when youth talk. You have to listen to.
No, I mean,
And I hear them.
I for it. I just
Yeah.
don't really sit down and taking too long of these you know, contemporary things. I might watch something more international.
Yeah.
Because it's a way of escapism.
I understand what I mean. Yeah,
I
you're in
don't-
it.
Yeah, in it.
Yeah, it's hard
you
for
know?
you to, yeah.
sometimes I hear certain people talk certain things, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But I know that already. I was there.
Well, you also might know too much because when I listen to it, I take what's said at face value as a fan. While you might
So
know
I'm not a fan.
relationships, you know.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not
in
a
industry.
crowd. I'm not a crowd member.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't really last time I went to a party in the front and watch up at the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, imagine you write one of the greatest stage song by being a body. Who the hell would have thought that?
Yeah, bodyguard. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought that? So this year, looking for you, like just focusing on your song and pushing that, because I also see you at Ajibola, salute to her, and
Yeah,
you're doing, you're continuing doing your Friday nights. What's the name of your, where you do it again? Yeah. You have a Friday night
with Lakwe. So that was a continuing series. Well, a series, an event rather by Attila Springer, who is with Campbell 1881 at Lakui.
It's something else that I never went and see her show either, and I will this year.
So I mean, no, the Campbells are
Carnival.
So there are things that are building up to it.
Right.
The focus is on recognition of certain, again, traditional rooted things. You know, rutical. You know what I mean? Yeah, we try to. We all had a conversation, tell myself and a few other people that we would do our best to stoke the fires and flames of ritual.
Right.
You know, so that others could jump up and have a good safe time. But I go sing certain type of songs and chant certain kind of things, and you know, we'll have certain type of events to make sure that certain older energies get a vibe too.
Of course. So that's something you're continuing throughout the season?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm pushing this song.
Right.
It doesn't mean that is the only thing I could do.
Right.
But it's a decision based on a vibe and a call to do this.
Got you.
You know, just
it's what I
following my
remember
vibes.
you saying that there was I don't know if it was because I saw you doing like teaching people stick fighting and self-defense and those types of things during the course of the year. But I thought during Carnival you were doing a weekly event.
Oh yeah, we have things. You see, every week it have things.
Gotcha,
but it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, I am independently doing other things.
Okay, got it.
I do things at schools.
Right. Oh yeah, I did see that. Some of that.
So
that was nice, boy.
we're doing some
I see
stuff.
a video. I don't know how old it was, but I saw a video with you and a little youth man.
Yeah,
pick
that's
up
an
the
old
ball.
video, but I have to tell you how long we're
Circle
doing
back.
that. Yeah, but yeah, circle back.
That was a nice energy, boy.
Yeah, and have that and do a lot of schools, bro. You know, we did some stuff with Marsha. Big out to Marsha. We did some stuff with Marsha in New York and NYU. We thought stick at their Brooklyn Lit Fest.
Right.
You know, I couldn't make it last year. Try and make it this year again. But she and I have some other plans. Really, really grateful for meeting her then. Beautiful person and spirit.
Salute to Marsha. Marsha's execute. One thing, Marsha's get stuff
So I'm
done.
looking forward to doing greater works with her. She's a mind of her own.
Yeah. And very much a defender of the culture too.
Yeah. She's get vexed when she sees little shippiness that people.
What?
You know,
I get it all the time.
So I mean, I'm working on a particular program right now, and I feel ashamed because of she, but
Yeah.
you know, I have friends who keep me honest and make sure I'm not selling out, so
Of course.
to speak. You know,
That's good. You're
But,
far from that. You're far from that. From
you know.
everything I could see from the outside looking in, you're far from that.
for real.
And
Thank
you have songs you write for people this year, or it's just your focus is on
I write a
music?
song with Olatunji or for Olatunji and a chutney artist called Sexy Vanessa.
All right. Released or coming?
It released, yeah.
Oh,
It
nice.
real bad. I wrote Ola's parts to kind of soakerize it. It's a kind of Mordor kind of vibe. You know, in Africa and India, meters be a vibe. So they're going into their competition on that side of the board because I do a lot of chutney work too now.
Yeah.
I work with Rishi Mahatu of Maha Productions and
Oh, nice.
a lot of good ones on that side of the business. Ravi B, Robin J, a lot of people who, you know, that is part of my community. I used to sing chutney too.
Yeah, no, going to tell
Chutney
you how
band.
much things you ain't doing. You know. It's a rough thing. I can't keep up with you.
I don't know.
I like when you train, you don't know how in the end.
It felt all very natural. You know?
But it is very natural. I think it shows. It's feeling coming through. As I say, when I see you do this song and I hear the opening vocal, all the vocals through this song, I think that song have a series of different parts of it that all powerful is something else, boy, and it tapping into something. So again, we appreciate that for the Juve. It is my first Juve in many, many years, maybe about 10
Jumping
years.
out.
Yeah. So I definitely, when I was breaking, and my wife told me she didn't strive, and I said, girl, go and enjoy yourself. You bring your whole self out in any Juve again. But now that I hear you definitely strive, I definitely coming out to see you on the road, man. That's
Something
good.
with the crew and them, man.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that to do still. For me, is by this race is not for the swift, you know?
Yeah.
Because you see, when that energy says time, do and say what.
Yeah.
Especially if you are, you know how Jesus say, my sheep know my voice. That spirit of carnival, from the time she blow that horn, those who know what time it is, they just start to get a fever.
Yeah.
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 So my song is a fever carrier, but you ain't gonna see it yet.
Yeah. Well, I wait. There's a long season. So I'm really interested to observe how songs build over the season.
Yeah. I'm interested too.
Yeah,
I'm very open.
I always like to see that because I always remember like Trinidad Killa, that song was nowhere until a video went viral with him, people moving fence hunting in Grenada. That's how I'm run with it. And then by the time he reached here, it was
No, that's not Trinidad. It's Mr. Killer.
Mr. Killer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the white too. But boy, when he come here, by the time they show that video and thing, by the time he come here, that song was as big as it gets. So, as you say, Machel, we have work to do for Machel, right? So if I take all the time and keep you here, Machel will cuss. So, brother, thanks. Listen, we had to make sure it happened by coincidence that we end up here just around Carnival. So we had to make this annual thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Conrad and them making sure the settings nice and affordable imports here, so we had to make sure we keep it burning and keep it going. But best for the season is a long season, so anytime you want to check back in. We looking forward to what you're doing on all fronts. There's so many different things that you're doing and working on. I know some of them you have ready to roll. Some of them is now ideas.
Yeah, right now we ideating the music video because it's about that time. You know, we're doing the media run right now.
Right.
I must say the responses have been very good. I'm very happy with the build so far. Very encouraging energy from people in general. I am a bit, apprehensive to. I understand what I have said and I have sung.
Yeah.
But I also understand what I have said. What I have sung.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean? So, with that being said, we carrying this message forward. I am carrying this message forward.
Yeah, like what you say, we too, because to tell always a year newness for the man. And before we start, wife, you make sure that the man in check, he looking good, he's singing good. That kind of energy must pay off. So, brother, thanks.
It's a team. It's a family team.
I'm seeing that.
You know, we my girlfriend is many things to me. But she's also many things. So you're wrong her, you're having things a certain type of way. Because she's a director, she's a playwright, she's a dance choreographer. She is of course, a voice on the radio, a master of ceremonies, and trained actor as well. So her eye is very, very refined.
Yeah, she knows what she's looking for.
You know, so when you're wrong somebody like that, your game will increase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Abby.
Yeah, salute. I'll tell you too, right, that coincidentally, without ever meeting her or knowing who she is or even seeing her, she's one of the reasons I started this podcast too.
Really?
Yeah, in the very early days, from something she had posted on Facebook, my pause razor.
Oh, wow.
She had said something on Facebook. I can't remember exactly what it was back then, but those were times where COVID had an energy and a kind of awakening without the sickness and the death that went along with it. People start seeing the world a kind of way. And a whole George Floyd thing later, thing with Diane's tea house here. And
Right.
bubbling. And I like to talk, and I have opinions. And I remember her posting about something back then. Like just everybody was posting about stuff happening, whether it's over there or here. Outside of the pandemic, just the police brutality thing and them things. So the 5th episode I recorded this podcast, which to date is proudest I ever was of any recording I've done, was a kind of lyric breakdown of singing Sandra, the Voices of the Ghetto, kind of walking through that. And that really was inspired by something she had posted and was talking about it from our perspective, the way we would feel as youths who grew up in the ghetto and the way, or maybe even youths who grew up in the ghetto but escaped that through whatever. And looking back at how people being treated, not just treated, but spoken about. It's something I have a real difficulty with. How people who might have been born in more fortunate circumstances or get through, whatever how you get through is illegal or not, you escape these circumstances. Sometimes people look back at it as if the youth in the ghetto wrong for doing this or doing that. And so they're trying to understand him a little bit. And something she had said had reached me so much. I said, nah, boy. And soon after that, I went and I buy a mixing board. Thank God for Conrad in a minute because it took me about 6 hours to figure out how to get sound out on a mixing board. So, but I had the episode going since then. So when we circle back to that and I see that is wifey and baby and so on, I say, nah, boy, this is important works.
Yeah, we aside from love and respect for each other, we also have a very strong love and respect for the arts and the culture.
Shows.
So our conversations are of that many times,
Nice.
you know. So we really committed to a certain authenticity, honesty, and quality in work in general. And just like one of our mutual teachers in University of the West Indies, Dr. Burke, she said something to me one time, and that was the prelude to the creation of Waiting on the Stage.
Right.
She said, disturb the cultural norm. Disturb. Disturb. Do. And everything I've done since then has been that. Waiting on the Stage was a techno that win Waiting.
Yeah, that shit was...
Doh Kry. But said is not a song.
I don't know, nobody can
People
see that
supposed to
coming.
be uptown, people supposed to be singing and chanting.
Of course, nobody
And
saw
more
that coming.
importantly, Doh Kry is not supposed to be the Juve anthem.
Well, we did for it.
Let me see if I could prove it another time. I don't prove it already by creating it.
Yeah,
It's
listen,
a
once it's out there, it's
disturbance,
out there. Yeah, you're seeing it, you're
but I
seeing the
wouldn't
energy
create a
changing or anything.
disturbance
Yeah,
with
when
that.
the song come on, is a shift.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes I look at yourself, but why I like this? But I'm born soon. I am Shishio.
That is good. Well, thank you, brother. It's good to see you again. I know I will see you Juve morning. If I ain't see you, I go feel your energy. And we'll come back and do this again. And we'll get wifey to come on too.
Yeah, that
It'll
will
be nice for her to
I
come
think
through
the next
and
one.
talk.
Make
Yeah.
the phone call and book it and go.
Beautiful, will do.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. So let me get Machel works done, right?
Correct.
All right, good. Thanks a million, man.
Let's